Right, so Lars and the Real Girl. What a disappointment. Oh my God. I was expecting this to be brilliant, and it let me down severely. Where to start? I mean, there are many problems. It's not a quirky comedy film, which is what I was expecting. From the cover of it, it looks like a quirky comedy kind of movie, like a Wes Anderson movie that's quirky and fun. And it just ends up being really depressing. And it's just like, enough. And there are moments in it that are uplifting and nice, but I'd say a good 75 to 80% of it was just so depressing and just so completely turned on the other side of what it looked like, you know? And at first it was a little bit quirky and kind of funny, but it just was really twisted for the other hour or over an hour, I'd say. And it was what, 70, 75 minutes. So it's a little bit quirky at the beginning when you first see the reveal, oh, she's a doll. Oh, I get it now. I thought he was just making up like some sort of personality that actually he was interested in the girl in work, but then he's making up this personality to his sister, in the family. But then also the other problem I have with it is there's no real explanation to why he is the way he is. All it is oh, Dad doesn't really hang around us anymore, and all this stuff he said about. And another thing is that it doesn't really, like a character study explains like lots of things, and you're like, oh, well, this is interesting because they got that, and there's lots of content. Here it feels really like held back, and they won't tell you anything, and you feel like you can't see properly, you can't hear, feel like you're missing things, and you are watching the movie that's in motion, and it's on, and you're trying to enjoy it. But for me, it pissed me off. I mean, it could be a really good 5-star film, and it ends up just being barely a 3-star film, and 6 at best. But really, in terms of the film, it is more like 5.5 because it just lingers and goes on for a way that it shouldn't go on. And there are even films that are depressing, but they capture an emotion and they have lots of things, and there's like characters development. Here, there's none of that really. All it is just he's delusional, but then you don't even get that. And what the whole problem with it for me is that his character's not developed enough. I mean, it could be so much more interesting, and for some reason, it's like Ryan Gosling is trying his best, and he's a good actor. I like him very much, but there's not enough there for it to be a full character. It's just sort of trapped in like writer's block or something. And obviously the director will finish the film and present it and it's all finished. But to me, this isn't finished. It's like in the works, in my opinion. It's got a lot of interesting things that could be interesting, but in the end, it's boring, and it shouldn't be boring. And like Only God Forgives was a terrible film, and it was incredibly disappointing and part of it. But this isn't terrible, disappointing crap, but it's still disappointing, but it's not crap. And I was expecting something really upbeat and happy and fun, and it doesn't end up being any of those things. All it ends up being is something that really depressing, but for some reason it can't even do the depressing thing well. It doesn't, it should attempt to do that well, like a lot of films do, like have it depressing but still make it enjoyable, but it did it the wrong way. It does it depressing so much to the point of it doesn't become entertaining anymore. And you feel like someone's attacking nails at you and just trying to really just annoy you and just depress you and invigorate you and take things. And it's just, what the hell is going on? And I couldn't understand. It's like the weirdest film. People seem to be having fun, but in the end of the actual production and it's done, you're not really having that much fun. Well, certainly I wasn't. And there are good performances in the film, but they don't seem to really care in the end. and and I think it doesn't really come across well. Like I didn't really care, but they make out they're having fun because obviously they're making a film. But in reality, to us and to me, they're probably not really having that much fun because the film isn't that good. And I don't know. It's like one of those things, you know. It's a disappointment, like Noah, which actually I think Noah's a little bit better than this, but it's still a disappointment. And frankly, I think it's a shame that Drive was really fun and it was entertaining, and this is just boring. And Crazy Stupid Love was great in that it had depressing stuff in it. Well, so it was supposed to be depressing, but it was quirky and it was fun. It should be Crazy Stupid Love, this film, but it's not Crazy Stupid Love. And it will never be Crazy Stupid Love, which is saying something. And his films have a staying power that, like The Believe is great, Place Beyond the Pines is really good, Drive's fantastic, Crazy Stupid Love is a really good, decent, quirky, fun comedy film. And this should have been that quirky, fun comedy film, like a Wes Anderson film, but it doesn't do that. And oh, just disappointing. I mean, it's like here's another thing. It's like Barton Fink. It has all this promise of being great, and it just lets you down. And Barton Fink started off well, but then it just went. Pfft. I mean, this I wouldn't even say it starts off well. I mean, it sort of seems quite entertaining and watchable at the beginning, and you think, oh, maybe it'll get better and it'll stay like that, or maybe just be a film that's quite enjoyable, but like, oh, I quite enjoyed. I can't really say, oh, I like it was quite a good film. Watch it again. I won't watch it again. It's just, it's just annoying. You like watch it and stuff, and it's just like, well, didn't really like it. Just be honest. Like Ryan Gosling usually has this energy and this power and dominance on screen, and that just feels like it's kind of lost. And I don't think it's really his fault. I think he's trying to do his best, and he's a good actor, but it's just lost in all of this. And I think the director didn't really tap into the Ryan Gosling we all know and love. He or she just got lost in the whole vein of making a movie, and it's just disappointing. And I didn't want it to be disappointing, so it's kind of sad in a way that it's just so average and mediocre. I mean, there are moments that are fun and uplifting, but they're kind of far and in between. And when you do get to them, then it just kind of disappears, and then it just goes on the track of being depressing for the rest of the film. And even when you think there's a glimmer of hope that it's going to change, they don't even end the film properly. They just sort of give a suggestion. Oh, he's going to get together with that girl, but that's it. And really, really, I was expecting it to be so much better than this. I mean, Half Nelson has to be better than this. It has to be better than this. People say it's so brilliant. This is not brilliant, and I'm shocked to say it's not brilliant.